I believe most people don't fail. They settle. I believe with my whole chest. I believe most people don't fail at life. They just settle. And that's sad. That's not a place to be. I believe people don't walk away from their calling because they're incapable. They walk away because comfort convinces them to visit. And I believe procrastination, it's not about laziness. It's about delaying the moment you have to become someone new. Because high performers, they don't procrastinate tasks. They procrastinate identity shifts. And if that line bothers you just a little bit, good. That means I'm doing my job. That means it's pointing at something real. Let me take you into a real season of my life where I was deep in the financial industry. After sobriety, built another multi-million-dollar business, crushing the game. And I need you to understand something. I wasn't struggling. I was making money, good money, fast money, the kind of money that makes people stop asking questions, the kind of money that lets you say, I'm good, and everybody believes you. I knew that world. I knew the language. I knew the rhythm. I knew how to walk into a day and manufacture results. I was a beast in the business. If I needed income, I knew exactly what to do. If I needed certainty, I knew which levels to pull. That world rewarded what I was already good at. And because of that, it was comfortable. Not comfortable like lazy, comfortable like controlled, comfortable like predictable, comfortable like I know how this ends. And then this is the part that people don't see. At the same time, something else was happening. I felt a pull towards purpose, not hype, not fantasy, not some motivational idea, a pull, speaking, impact, meaning using my story, not as a side hustle, as something I was meant to step into fully. And here's the most important part. I didn't ignore it. I just didn't choose it. I tried to manage it. And instead of choosing, I straddled. One foot in the financial industry, one foot on purpose. And I want to tell you the way it sounded in my head, because this is how high performance talks. This is how high performance talks to themselves into delay. I kept telling myself, I'm being smart. I'm being responsible. I'll do both for now. I'll keep it in the foundation while I build the other side. I'll shift when it's stable. I'll shift when it's clearer, when the noise calms down. I'll shift when it makes more sense. And on paper, that sounds brilliant. But inside, I felt like I was living with a quiet tension on my chest, a heavy feeling, because I knew the truth. I wasn't building both. I was protecting one and postponing the other. Settling was easier. It was easier because I didn't have to become new again. I didn't have to learn a new world. I didn't have to be the beginner. I didn't have to face the learning curve. I was already respected, already validated, already sharp. I was already crushing the game. And that matters to high performers, because when you built an identity around winning, oh man, starting over feels like death. Purpose didn't offer certainty. Purpose came with unknowns, new systems, funnels, stages, audiences, rejection, silence, starting from zero in rooms where nobody knew who I was. And then there was the biggest part, visibility. In finance, I could hide behind performance. Numbers talk, results protect you. But speaking? Nah. Speaking means standing out in front of people with nothing to hide behind. No spreadsheet, no title, no resume, just my voice, my story, my past, my mistakes. And that kind of vulnerability is not cute. Because once you put your story out there, you can't take it back. People could judge you, misunderstand you, dismiss you. Some people will clap. Some people will roll their eyes. Some people, they'll project their own issues onto you. So staying where I was competent, it felt safer, even though I knew it wasn't aligned with who I was meant to be. And over time, that split, it started costing me, not money, but energy, conviction. I'd feel the pull towards purpose, then quiet it with logic. I'll do it later, when the timing is right, when it feels safer. Money didn't fix the misalignment. It just made it comfortable for me to be able to just ignore it. And then one day, something cracked open. One day, it fucking hit me. I could keep being comfortable, or I could be aligned, but I couldn't be both. So I had to make a choice. And I chose. And choosing didn't feel safe. It felt right. Now let me put you on to what was really happening, because that story, it's not unique. That's a pattern, and I call it settle. This is how high performers quietly bury opportunity without realizing it. And I want you to listen like you're looking in the mirror, not like you're consuming content. The S is for safety. Safety over alignment. Settling starts when safety outranks alignment, not survival safety, identity safety. Safety sounds like, this is what I know. This is where I'm respected. This is where I don't look stupid. This is where I can control outcomes. Come on, man. Stop embarrassing yourself. Alignment is when your calendar matches your calling, when your habits match what you say you believe, when you're not split. Here's the question. When you're choosing the thing that's safe while you keep calling the thing that's true, where are you doing that? Where are you choosing the thing that's actually safe while you keep calling the thing that's true later? E is for enough money to delay the decision. This one exposes people because you don't need money to settle. You need enough to tolerate the misalignment, enough to buy time, enough to turn delay into a lifestyle. And here's the most dangerous part. Enough money makes you feel like you're not stuck, because you could still win. You could still post wins. You could still look successful. You can have that glamour on the outside, but inside, inside there's emptiness. Inside, you know the real deal. Money doesn't fix misalignment. It makes it comfortable enough to ignore. The T is for tolerating the split. This is where your energy goes. One foot in what pays, one foot in what calls. It's not a way to live life. People think they're being strategic, but what they're really doing, they're training indecision. The split drains you because you're never fully committed. Half your spirit is pulled forward, and half your identity is swinging backwards. That's some backward shit. And this is the truth. You're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're being two versions of yourself. Telling yourself you're being smart is where the T comes in. This is where procrastination hides, because settling, it really sounds like fear. It sounds like, I'm waiting for timing. I'm making sure it's perfect. I'm just being responsible. But let me give you the hard line here. Most people don't procrastinate because they're lazy. They procrastinate because they've learned how to justify delay. And that's why it's true. Procrastination is the grave in which opportunity is buried. I'm going to say that one more time, y'all. Procrastination is the grave in which opportunity is buried. Not dramatically, quietly, politely, over time. The L is for losing authority with yourself. This is the cost. Not money, not reputation, self-trust. Every time you delay what you know that you're meant to do, you teach yourself, my word is negotiable. And once your word becomes negotiable, your standards become optional. You start tolerating what you used to shut down. You start explaining what you used to enforce. And that E, that's eroding the edge. Settling doesn't destroy your life. It erodes your edge, your sharpness, your decisiveness, your conviction. And one day, nothing is wrong, but you feel it. I'm living beneath my calling. Man, imagine what that's like, living like that the rest of your life. That's torture. You're not created to live beneath your calling. You're created to rise above it. Now, when I look back, I'm grateful I didn't settle, because if I stayed where it was easy, none of this would exist. This platform, me being here with you guys tonight, the impact, the people that I've helped around the world, the fulfillment I feel waking up aligned. Yeah, I make more money now, but more than that, I feel on purpose. And none of that happens if I keep choosing comfort over truth.